Welcome to the Friday Forecast. It is me, your host, your boy, King over here, right over there. That's your boy, Jimbo, also known as your good friend, Jimbo. Everybody's just my boy, and to him, everybody is your good friend. That's just, at this point, I'm just going to say whatever the hell I'm going to say. It's going to come out however it comes out anyway. I don't even care now, Jimbo. I don't even care. You know why I don't care?
Why is that?
Because this is the penultimate preseason divisional prediction Friday forecast that we have. Because here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to give you the forecast, our forecast for the NFC North. Now, what's going to happen is, on Tuesday, special day on Tuesday, folks. That's why you're going to want to like, share, and subscribe right here, down there. Click all those buttons, click the bell, do everything you got to do. Because Tuesday, we're going live, baby. We're doing live countdown. We're doing our final number one overall pick, who we have in our top 12 power rankings for the NFL preseason. And we're merging it. We're also having the final Friday forecast for the NFC East. That is all happening live on Tuesday. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to get that. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to us before Tuesday so that you're made aware that you know. And we'll be posting it all over as well. So you're not going to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Yes. But yes, today we are doing the NFC North. And a division that used to be run by Aaron Rodgers, run by the Packers, in the last year or two has kind of not been the Packers' playground. And some people think this might be a return to form to them. Some people think that it's still not. We're going to see what we think about it in just a little bit here. Jimbo, how you doing anyway? Just want to say that. How you doing?
Probably a lot better than John Lynch and Brandon Ayuk. Seems like John Lynch is finally fed up with the whole situation.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing for everybody to know. We are currently recording this on a Thursday.
Yes.
Because reasons. So when you see this, maybe something has already happened with Brandon Ayuk. Maybe not. We don't know. What we know is that Cleveland went and restructured Deshaun Watson's deal that gives them something, what I believe, like 62 point something million dollars in cap space as it stands right now.
Yeah, like they basically saved $35 million off of Deshaun's
right, because they gave him like
contract.
something that it switches to a signing bonus, so it comes off the cap, so it comes like it's whatever math it is.
Yeah.
The Browns have by far the most amount of cap space right now of any NFL team, and that gets people to thinking. Why would you all of a sudden do this? Especially when you were one of the teams mentioned about being in the Brandon Ayuk sweepstakes, and where everything seemed to be going Ayuk's way, coming back to San Francisco after it seemed like he might be going to Pittsburgh. And then, he watched Russell Wilson and Justin Fields play football, and he said, maybe not. And then it seemed like, it was kind of going that way, and now it seems to be reversing back to he's not even showing up, and there seems to be a little bit of animosity now, again, between Ayuk and the Niners. And like you said, it looks like John Lynch is just, he seems to be frustrated with it at this point. I'm fucking frustrated with it at this point. I already went on a rant on it before. I'm tired of it. I am trying to curse less. I'm just going to let everybody know that I am trying to curse less. But I am tired of it. I think a lot of people are, and it's just like either, again, the old adage, shit or get off the pot. He's not doing either one of those. But that move by the Browns today, on Thursday morning, was very interesting. And that was the first thing that popped in my head. It seemed to be the first thing that popped into a lot of people's head. A lot of the talking heads were saying the same stuff. Dan Patrick and some of the ESPN talking heads and Pat McAfee and a lot of other people. Adam Schefter says that he doesn't see that as currently, but Schefter also has been wrong on so many things.
So many
times. So, how you see that and how, like he said, Jamar Chase was never going to touch or see the Cincinnati practice field or playing field until they got a new contract done, and now he's practicing there with Cincinnati for the last.
He's showing up.
Yes, he's he was part of he did a full practice a couple days ago, and he's been on the field, and he's kind of been there now. Like he's there. Whether they're putting him through the full rigmarole or not, I don't know. But he's there, which is something that Shefty said was never going to happen until he got a deal. So again, Shefty, not only has Shefty been wrong in the past, but he's been wrong very recently. So you take that kind of opinion with a grain of salt.
One thing I just want to say too is like when I messaged you about it, and you said, do you think it's a big move? With $65 million in cap space, let's just say Ayuk gets 30, 32 million. So that gives you another 33. If he gets traded, Cooper's got to be part of the package, and we already know there's going to be dead money. So I wonder if that extra cap space is to take the cushion hit of that dead money that Cooper will be on the books for. So that way they're not over the cap.
Well, that could be, again, if Amari Cooper's cap hit is going to be the same whether or not they get there. So they have the 65, like that's there even with Cooper's hit already.
Okay, yeah.
Like whether Cooper is on the Browns or not, the cap hit right now is what the cap hit is.
Yeah.
So maybe for next year, but I don't know if this move affects next year quite yet. So again, I'm not a mathematician. I don't know finances. I am completely in the dark when it comes to salary caps and how the math works and everything like that. So if somebody out there was a lot smarter, wants to say something in the comments and let us know how that might all work out. The way it seems to me is that Amari Cooper, whether he gets traded or not in an Ayuk deal, in a supposed Ayuk deal, his cap hit would still be whatever it is on Cleveland as it stands right now. So the Browns would still have $63 million in the cap space.
Yeah.
To work with. Interesting question though. I'm just too dumb to know what it all means. Again, when it comes to you're asking me to do math, you're coming to the wrong fucking guy. I'm just saying I am trying to curse less. I'm trying. I really am. I'm serious, folks. Trying to curse less.
You will be allowed 2 gimmies, this upcoming NFL season.
Oh, dude, because I already got. I got my. I'm getting ready. I'm pre-gaming for the pregame. Like I got my cider here, ready to go. But I am going to follow, and I'll say this. I'm going to follow. I'm going to have a Grossi rule here on our live streams. Shout out Tom Grossi. No alcoholic beverage until my team scores a touchdown. Has to be a touchdown. Can't be a field goal.
For NFL or
NFL?
Both?
Yes. Well, if we do Notre Dame, we'll do that too. I'll do that anyway.
I mean, Notre Dame will score. I mean, the Giants. We may be wait until week 15 for them to score.
So, first of all, I am trying to curse less, but fuck you. Second of all, because also, here's the other thing too. Because if the Giants don't play well,
yes.
And I get hammered, it's going to be a bad show. It's going to be a bad live stream. So
it's going to be Pat McAfee.
It's going to be worse than that because I'm going to be sitting here drunk and miserable, just like I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. What are we even doing? This sucks. Like I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy. So I don't want to be that guy. Listen, do you remember what was it? 10 years ago now, the Sunday night opener between the Giants and Cowboys at Stan's.
I felt bad, man. I felt bad for you.
It was kind of like how it was last year, where it was like the Cowboys just started blowing us out in the first half, and I'm just sitting there, and you're looking at me like, "You all right, buddy?" I was like, "I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna drink. Can we turn anything else? Is there anything else on? We watch anything else? I don't even care. ABC mystery movie or something? No, I don't care. I don't want to be here." It was bad. That was so bad.
I couldn't even laugh no more at the interceptions Eli was throwing.
No, that wasn't a good game. Was not a good game. Still remember it though, unfortunately. But anyway, time to get down to brass tacks. Prestige. Yeah. Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Boats and hoes. Let's get to the NFC North. Let's get to our forecast here for what we think is going to happen in this division. Again, this division, for the last, however long Aaron Rodgers was in that division, it was the Packers division, and everybody else was just his bitch. And it was Patriots-esque, just without the Super Bowl titles. He got one instead of 7. But again, the Packers ran that division. Now, 2 years ago, the Vikings won. Last year, Detroit won. This year, the Packers seem to be back on their shit. They seem, Jordan Love looks to be the guy there. And they paid him as such after, 10 games or 6 games of decent football. So, again, small sample size. But if he does play the way he was playing, that's the thing. If he plays as he was playing at the end of the year in the playoffs, it's a good investment.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an argument against that. But it's such a small sample size, you don't know. So I think that's where a little bit of the worry comes in. But, again, we'll see. Detroit coming in off of a really high. I mean, again, as we talked about so many times, they were so close. They were so close. And again, talking about Brandon Ayuk and that miracle catch that he had down there when, should have been an interception, bounce off the line, bounce off of him. He falls down, catches it as he's falling down. It's a whole thing. And I think that moment the Lions never recovered from, unfortunately. And then you have the Bears, rookie quarterback, and Caleb Williams, who I will admit looks a lot better than I thought he would. Now, again, he still has some issues, I think. I think that you did see that as well, and it's not getting as much coverage because, again, the sexy stuff will always get more coverage than, I don't know, maybe this guy's not great. But there was some of that, but there was also really good out of Caleb Williams, a lot more good than I thought I would see already. And, again, I know it's preseason. You don't want to look too much into it or anything like that, but I'm willing to say maybe I wasn't giving Caleb Williams a fair shake, as it were.
Yeah.
And then you have the Minnesota Vikings, who lost their rookie quarterback for the whole year with a meniscus tear and are going with Ghostbuster himself, Sam Darnold. Which, listen, this is Sam's time to shine. If you ever wanted the case to make your case of being either a solid number 2 backup in the NFL and get paid pretty well. Backups get paid pretty well now. Yeah. Or even get a starting job somewhere if there's somebody desperate enough for a quarterback, depending on how you play. We've seen it happen before with other quarterbacks. So this could be a actual reclamation project here for him. So that's it. This is the teams we're working with. This is, I think, the situations we're working with. Jimbo, as always, you take the pole position here. You take first shot here. You take first crack. Let us have it. What's your forecast for the NFC North?
So, coming in first place, division champions, I got the Detroit Lions. If you guys tuned in on Tuesday for our power rankings, the countdown, I almost forgot the show name.
That happens.
They seem like they've improved their secondary, which was a big issue last year. And like you alluded to about the playoff game against San Fran, really it was just that one play swung that momentum back to San Fran, and they were never able to recover it. As far as why I got them at 14-3, it's really just 2 teams that's going to be the front runners here. And obviously you could see Green Bay and Detroit. I believe I have the Lions beating the Vikings both times. I think I have them splitting with the Bears, just because I think that one game is going to be like how we talk about that fluke game.
It's always there's always that one game. I think I agree with that.
Yeah, and they're just another year older and a little bit wiser. Dan Campbell's a little bit wiser. Maybe he learned not to be so aggressive when it comes to fourth downs and on certain plays. So maybe that may help them as well. Green Bay. I know it was only a few games that we got to see Jordan Love, but it just seems like they figured out that offense, like how to build the offense around Jordan Love. Earlier on, it seemed like they were trying to do something different for a different style quarterback, and it just wasn't working. I think he's going to be the guy. Like, I don't think that was a 10-game fluke or anything like that. And again, with a semi-weak division, they're going to get a couple wins against the Bears and the Vikings. I believe I have them splitting with the Lions. The defense is obviously the question mark. They weren't that great last year, but they hung in there with the Niners in the playoffs. And just like Detroit, it's a young team, has more experience now, so I think that's going to help as well. Chicago, it's so funny. Like, Justin Fields was asking for help, wide receivers, weapons, whatever, and they just would not get him any type of weapons to help him out and trade him away. They draft Caleb Williams, and they just load up on weapons. Now, he's a rookie quarterback, and my biggest question mark with him is when shit is going tough, can he pull through it? And we saw with the Notre Dame game, once we beat them at USC, he never really was able to come back to how he was before the Notre Dame game. So that mental toughness is a big key there for them. But I think with the weapons he does have, they'll be able to squeak out, a few wins. So that's why I'm set at 5-12.
Right.
And coming in last place, Minnesota Vikings. Just, I like the pick of them doing with J.J. McCarthy. It's unfortunate what happened to him. And I don't even know if he would ever played this year. I think he might have been one of the quarterbacks that may have been on the bench learning.
I think he was a good quarterback. I think Darnold was starting the year to begin with. I agree with that. I think he was. Because here's the problem. For the limited time that we saw JJ in the preseason game, he looked a little like Bo Nix. He played well. He played well enough to where it was like, wow, he's not awful. He doesn't look bad. It looks like he can grasp it. He's still a rookie, clearly. He still has all that, but I think Darnold would have started, and depending on how Darnold did and how the Viking season was going, whether or not they were then going to put JJ in there. But I agree with you on that point.
Yeah, and I mean, just the other thing too of why I have them at 4-13. Now, granted, I did the records before all the shit hit the fan for the Vikings. I mean, we had a stretch there of 3-4 weeks of just bad news after bad news after bad news for the Vikings, losing their rookie cornerback. I believe it was a car accident or something like that.
They had one of their rookies die.
Yeah.
All the other ones, and there was a lot of other bad stuff too that happened as far as injuries and J.J. McCarthy that we know about and everything like that. But yeah, it all started off with their rookie cornerback dying.
Yeah,
like it has been not a great offseason for the Minnesota Vikings, and it's almost. It's clearly it's tragic for that young gentleman and his family. And for the Vikings organization, and then it seems like that has put the pall over the season, and you've already had, again, like we said, a couple more injuries, a couple practice injuries. J.J. McCarthy got injured. It's not great.
It's almost like saying, you know what, our season's a wash. Let's just train these young guys for next year, get them a little bit more used to the offense, the defense, how we do things. And, I mean, they're still good enough to get a couple wins. I don't think they're going to go 0-16. That's ungodly
hard.
That's
Panthers territory now you're talking about.
That's the only team that, may go and do that. But so that's why I have the Lions winning the division and Minnesota bringing up the rear there with a 4-13 record.
All right, so there you go. You got the Lions, and I imagine the Packers at 11-6 are probably going to make the playoffs. That were in all your predictions there. So, that makes sense. You have the Bears with 5 wins, 5-12. Not honestly, I'm going to say that's not a bad record for having a rookie quarterback. And I know some people are probably going to be upset by that. Boy, wait till I tell you mine. And you have the Vikings bringing up the rear at 4-13. Now, as for me, let's go ahead and take a look at how I have this division forecasted. Let's get our Jimbo's picks here. And let's pop mine up here. And not too much different. A little bit, but not too much. I have the Lions at 15-2. Bringing up the champions of the division. I think they're going to get back-to-back division champions. The Lions seem to be, for as many questions as I have about them, and there still are questions, I think. I think there is... Are they going to have a hangover from their actual success last year? You know, being the Detroit Lions and having success usually don't go hand in hand. So how does the organization handle it? How do the players handle it? Again, I think it's good having Goff there as a veteran presence, as somebody who's been through the highs and lows of an NFL career as he has been, to kind of be a steadying force. So I don't think you could have a better quarterback in that position to kind of handle this. And I think that's also a reason why I still have the Lions where they are. I think as much as I have them, I think I have them, a 7 or 6 in my preseason countdown picks. I think that's just for starting off the season. But I think if you look at them as a whole, I think the Lions, if they can avoid that cliff, if they can avoid that hangover, if they can avoid that, oh, well, we were good last year, we think we're so good now, nobody can touch us, we're good, you know, and then they get blown out in their first 3 games or something like that. Like, that's always going to be a worry for me. But if they can avoid that, if they can stay focused, head down, I think they are the class of the division, and I think they're going to be one of the teams that's up there battling with San Francisco again to be the class of the NFC. Then you have the Packers. I have the Packers at 13-4. As we were talking about, Love, he has a very small sample size. Not sure quite how it's going to work out with him. But if he continues to play the way we saw him play at the end of last season and into the playoffs, the Packers got their guy. You know, and I don't think that's the question. And a lot to what you were saying too about how it felt like beforehand, early on in the season, maybe he was trying to be Aaron Rodgers, or maybe they were trying to structure the game plan around him as if he was Aaron Rodgers. And then maybe that was something that changed, where he decided, I'm not Aaron Rodgers, I'm Jordan Love. And maybe LaFleur picked up on that, and maybe they decided, listen, let's change this. Let's play this as if you're Jordan Love. Let's don't play as if Aaron Rodgers is still here. And whatever it was, he went from being, it's there, you see bits, but it's not great, to, okay, this guy is going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, you know. Yeah. So, again, if that's the course that they keep on going, if they just kind of pick off from last year on the offensive side, I think the Packers are good. Defensively, listen, they fired Joe Barry. Immediately improve defense once you do that. So Joe Barry's gone. I think that Packers defense is improved. Again, like I said, just firing Joe Barry improved the defense. It was kind of like Matt Canada on offense for the Steelers. You got rid of him, immediately improved. All of a sudden, Kenny Pickett looked good for, believe it or not, Kenny Pickett looked good without Matt Canada. So I think without having Joe Barry there, and who they hired Jeff Hafley. Jeff Hafley.
Oh.
Is their defensive coordinator.
That's right.
Who did you say it was?
I was thinking Pittsburgh.
Oh, you were thinking Arthur Smith for the offense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. They hired from Boston College's head coach, Jeff Hafley. He's their new defensive coordinator. So I think on the defensive side they'll be better. I think 13-4 is good. Again, give or take a couple, but I think they got double-digit wins, and I think they're making the playoffs. Then you have the Minnesota Vikings, and like we talked about, I think it was just a bad, it was just a bad off season for so many reasons. Again, you have a tragic death of your rookie cornerback. You have a ton of injuries. You lose your rookie quarterback to an injury for the year. You got to start Sam Darnold. Like the thing you have, the feather in your cap is Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
But can Justin Jefferson win you 10, 11 games on his own? It's hard for a wide receiver to do everything. Is he going to certainly help Sam Darnold out? I think 1,000%. But also, they're going to double and triple the shit out of him. So, I would like to be more optimistic about the Vikings, but for now, I can't be. And then the Bears. And this is where I had some issues because I originally had the Bears pretty low, and I was comfortable having them this low. And then watching Caleb Williams during the preseason, it was like, well, shit. But by that time, we had already done most of these shows. Like, I can't change out some of the picks for some of the other teams that we already picked because then it would screw up that and doing like that. So I was kind of stuck where I was with the Bears. I still think the Bears are the Bears are going to have double-digit losses.
Yeah.
I still think that. Caleb Williams is still a rookie. And if you watched his highlights, there is still a lot of rookie play with him. Are there some incredible plays that he has? 1,000%. Does he have a shit ton of talent around him? 100%. But I can't put stock into a rookie quarterback until they show us something. And listen, this is kind of the same thing that happened last year with C.J. Stroud. Nobody before the season was saying, "Oh man, Texans are going to win a division. Texans are going to the playoffs. Texans are going to do some damage with C.J. Stroud." They were like, rookie quarterback, rookie head coach. They're in all kinds of disarray. The Texans are going to be bad, and they're going to be bad for a while. Boy, how that narrative has changed. Now, can that same thing happen with the Bears? Absolutely. I think it absolutely can. But I'm not going to bet on it.
Yeah.
That's a high risk bet if that's what you're talking about, what you want to do. I'm not there yet when it comes to the Bears. So again, is the 3-win total maybe low? Probably. They might have a couple more. Again, when I put this in, when I had these picks in there, I really wasn't thinking Caleb Williams was gonna look as good as he did. And mea culpa on me. Kid looked good. The kid looked good in this preseason. I will say that unequivocally and say I was wrong about saying he was going to be either overmatched in the NFL or not know how to play or not go, like it was going to be too much for him. I don't think it is. I do think still it was preseason. And I do think if you watch more than just the highlights, if you watch, all of his plays that he played in these games, you can still see a lot of the rookie in him and a lot of the rookie mistakes that are there. But it would not surprise me if the Bears won 5 or 6 games. Or maybe even more, but I still think they're at the double-digit loss. I still think they're at 10 or more losses. I still think they're probably last in the division. But I think if you're a Bears fan, what you're going to see this season is something you haven't seen in a while, and that's hope.
Yeah,
you're going to have. I think Caleb Williams, once he gets acclimated, I think once you see week 10 or week 11, if he starts making progressions better, if he starts seeing the field better, if he starts reaction, has better reactions, because we've already seen he can make the plays.
Yeah,
like he can make some outstanding plays. And I hate saying it because as a USC quarterback and I'm a Notre Dame fan, so fuck USC. I am trying to curse less. But like his ability to make some of the plays that he made, like throwing across his body and throwing it 50 yards down the field and hitting Roma Dunze like that, and that's what I mean. Like the Bears have a lot of very good, very young talent that they've put around Caleb, and Caleb so far has shown that he has the ability to make those plays and get these special talents the ball.
Yeah.
And that he himself is probably a special talent. Once he irons out and sands down and smooths out those rookie mistakes, that is going to happen to any and every rookie. They're going to go. But I still think the Bears are probably a sub 500 team and not making the playoffs. So that's how I have my NFC North forecast. I have the Lions at 15-2, class of the division, fighting with the Niners overall. I have the Packers in second at 13-4. Vikings, unfortunately, at 5-12. Like we said, they're not great. And the Bears at 3-14. Although that is most definitely subject to change. But that's how it is. That's how we have it right now. And we have it pretty much the same. Top of the division, same. Lions win. Packers in second. Both teams making the playoffs. And then the Vikings and Bears are going to be fighting out for the bottom of the division. But I think the Bears will be fun to watch, which is something you haven't really said about the Bears. So I think that'll be interesting. So I don't know. Is there anything else going on? Like, what are you doing this weekend other than, are you vegging out watching some football? Or are you?
Well, taking a vacation down to Maryland.
Okay.
We're going to visit the wife's friends that were actually her best friend. Excuse me. Her best friend was our wedding party. But her husband is a pretty cool guy. He was the one feeding me and her Captain of Cokes during the wedding.
Do I remember who this was?
Yeah, Mandy.
I do not remember who that was.
Mandy was the bridesmaid.
There were several bridesmaids, weren't there?
She walked with Tom.
Oh, maid of honor. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So we're going to visit them.
Listen, let's not forget that I almost died at your goddamn wedding because you decided to have it in the middle of July on the hottest day of the year, and I sweated through the goddamn. You decided to wear a gray tuxedo, so there I am in a gray tuxedo, which turned black because I sweated through the goddamn thing because I'm standing in the middle of the sun. It's 90 goddamn degrees, almost 100 degrees. The humidity is so high. I blame you for that whole thing. So excuse me if I don't remember who exactly was who or who walked down the aisle with who.
My boys still call you Sweaty Volcano.
Dude, apparently everybody watched my suit get darker. As the ceremony went on, it just was like I was like a color changing sticker or something. It was it was so bad. I didn't dry off until like after I feel bad for the tuxedo place that had a dry clean that son bitch.
I was just about to say the funny part was because I was the one that handed your tuxedo in.
There might be some sweat damage.
And I flat out told him, I said, I'm sorry about this one. And he literally went like this. And looked at me. I said, it was really hot.
It was really hot. He's 300 pounds and he's hot anyway. He runs hot. He wears shorts in wintertime,
But yeah, no, we may go crab fishing. Not sure about that.
If you go to Maryland, I think you have to. I mean, that's just that's a rite of passage.
All I know is 7:30 Saturday night. I better be able to watch the game either. I hope at a bar. It would be nice to go.
It'd be nice, nice. Go get out to a bar, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll do that too. Maybe I'll jump out to a drinking establishment, have a couple of suds, as they say. I don't know who they are, and I don't know why they say suds. It's a weird thing to call beer, but hey, in 1935 I know they did, but now in 2024 I'm not sure. I'm not sure if suds is the right way to go about it. But
I may have a Guinness, but I'm not going to have 30 Guinnesses. I see how that goes.
You know what? I was to touch on Pat McAfee for a second here at his Ireland show last week. It did bring back a lot of great memories and some that I couldn't remember when I was watching him drink some of the baby Guinness shots that Seamus was making him. And I was like, I remember those. And then my wife, Jackie, she was like, what's a baby Guinness? And I was like, that was Martin Jimbo's touchdown shot. Whenever Notre Dame scored a touchdown, Bree from behind the bar, she'd make us a baby Guinness of a Kahlua, and I think it's Kahlua and Bailey's on top. Or whatever coffee liqueur you want, whether it's Kahlua or Mr. Black or whatever, you would do a coffee liqueur, and then you do the shot of Bailey's on top, so it looked like a baby Guinness, and you pound that, and that was our Notre Dame shot. And there were a couple times when Notre Dame was really good, and I left that bar in quite a state. For now, Enjoy your trip to Maryland, and enjoy catching some crabs down there in Maryland. I'm sure that's, everybody likes to do that when they go and visit that wonderful state. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to go ahead, like, share, subscribe, it's great. Share us all around. Help us get some more subscribers. We're looking to get monetized here. We get some monetization. I can get a microphone. We can actually afford Zoom and not be in a bad spot with that, and do a lot of more cooler stuff and live and be fun. That would be great. So like, share, subscribe, please. Donation station over here. Yes, that's right. Is over there. Merch store is over there. Links for those are down there as well as our Discord. So that's all the plugs out of the way. Thank you very much. See, I like to do the plugs in the beginning and at the end. You bookend it with the plugs, so you just you get it done. You get them right when they come in, and for everybody who sticks around, you get them right at the end. It's good strategy. It's what they call marketing strategy. That's me, baby. Marketing strategy. But for your good friend Jimbo, I'm your boy King. Have a great weekend, everybody. Adios.